Pot stocks. Some people say they've made a lot of money trading these stocks, but have you really looked at the companies? Well, Peter Leeds is here to talk to us about them. Peter Leeds is the author of Penny Stocks for Dummies, and he is also the publisher of Peter Leeds Penny Stocks. So, Peter, when I've looked at these companies, I'm shocked. Some of them have horrible balance sheets, and yet people trade them like crazy. Isn't that a little dangerous?
I think a lot of the people investing in these stocks are not looking at the financials or don't understand how to do that. Some of these companies are financial train wrecks, the majority of them, and people are investing in the concept, but they don't understand that at the end of the day, reality is going to kick in and the stocks might come back down.
Well, I think a good example of that is one we're going to look at now, and that's Cannabis Science. Now, when we look at the numbers on this, they have a market cap of $98 million, only $204,000 worth of cash. They do have some revenue, $75,000, but only gross profits of $36,000. That is so out of whack. Gross profits of $36,000, but a $98 million market cap.
Well, it's marijuana. It could be any industry. You're investing in a company. As a businessman and an investor, an analyst, it's pretty shocking, some of these companies, their financial positions. And I mean, this particular stock, last I looked at it, they had about 500,000 in assets compared to 3.5 million in liabilities. So for every dollar that they owned, they owed about $7 that they owed to other people. And the company cannot continue to exist like that.
Well, we're going to look at another one, and that's Advanced Cannabis Solutions. This one's a little better. It has a much bigger market cap, $400 million in market cap, but only $465,000 of cash on the books. They do have a gross profit of $465,000. But once again, these numbers are completely out of line.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about a company that's valued at $500 million. And meanwhile, they're barely bringing in $1 million in revenues in terms of earnings. It's out of whack by far. I mean, even if this company exists down the road, it won't be at the current prices. I mean, you cannot sustain a market cap of $500 million for a company in an industry with these kinds of financials and in an industry whereby the barriers to entry are actually quite low.
Now, a lot of people, they say, well, you criticize these pot stocks too much. There's got to be one out there that's halfway decent. And when we look at Grow Life, this one almost has a decent balance sheet. It's got a market cap also of $400 million, but it's better cash than our previous one. It's got cash of $1.8 million, revenues of $4.6 million, and gross profit of $853. So the numbers are starting to look a little better here. But what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a legitimate company. It's going to probably be around many years from now. They do indoor gardening, basically equipment. And, they could benefit from the growth in the marijuana industry, except that the valuation is absolutely out of whack. Again, just like the other companies, people are driving these prices up a lot higher. And it's not going to be shown up to be justifiable until this company starts bringing in a lot dramatically more impressive numbers than they are now.
Would you say you're getting a huge amount of requests for information about these stocks?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the #1 topic people want to talk about. And what I find interesting is that I'll say, they're all overvalued right now. You'd be paying too much for the shares. And the question isn't, okay, so what should I invest in instead? The question is, okay, so which one should I buy anyway? And that kind of scares me a little bit.
All right, thank you, Peter. Peter Leeds giving us some voice of reason here on marijuana stocks. And I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.